Are we live? Are you guys there? Can you see me? I'm so excited to see everybody online. Woo! They're saying, I'm guessing they're having tech issues. Mercury retro. No, we're just chit-chatting. Is she running late? Hi, woo, I'm here. Okay. We might we might go slightly over tonight, but we might not. So I wanna just kind of, look. We're in an eclipse. I don't know what's happening. I'm sitting in a chair. That's all I know right now. Hi, everybody. So I ran a little long because I was welcoming everybody in the room with so much gratitude for everybody being here. We may have to shut that, just so you guys know, we may have to shut that one blind because it gets really bright in here. I am so happy. So no, we weren't having technical complications. We were having a really good time. Sorry. And then I was like, we should actually bring the folks online in because you might have the same questions that everybody in the room is having. So this is our first ever new moon that happens to be at the time of a solar eclipse, after the time of a solar eclipse event. And I'm very excited because we've been doing live full moon ritual for so long, for 5.5 years, almost 6 years. We've never missed a full moon. But we've never done a new moon either, not publicly. I've done it privately in my small group. So I'm very happy to have all of you here, and I'm so thrilled to have everybody online. And so what we were talking about in the room is the protocol of the new moon, okay, which is very specific. So let me walk you through a couple of things. First of all, what I said in the room is, congratulations, you survived, okay? This has not been an easy eclipse for any of us. This has not been an easy new moon. Leo's in the room? Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. But you know what matters even more is where your Pluto is. Did you guys see me in Full Moon Ritualist today? By any chance? If you're not in our full moon group, you should be. It's our free public group for rituals like this. And I went live today for about half an hour, and I went through, because you have Pluto in your chart, and Pluto is the planet of death and transformation. And where Pluto is in your chart is the #1 predictor of how this eclipse would go for you. So, so go back to the live. You're going to love it. I put a link to help you find where your Pluto is. So click on that link when you go home. Find out where your Pluto is, then watch the live, and you're going to go, because I have Pluto in the 12th house. Anybody else know where your Pluto is by any chance? Okay. 12th house is the deepest place. Are you 12th house, Pluto? Yes. First house. Okay. Little easier placement for you. Okay. 12th house is real scary. Which house are you with Pluto? 12th? Okay. So you and I, it's been rough. We made it. We're here. Pluto likes to be in the 12th house because that's the house of mystery, and that's the house of death, and that's the house of WTF. Okay, so that's Pluto. Pluto likes to be there. Okay, that's a deep dark house for Pluto. Pluto is the planet that governs all of this, and so where Pluto is in your chart, literally, I made a whole list and went through it on that video today. I'm going to go quickly through it tonight, just in case you didn't see, and then when you go home, I want you to find your Pluto because that will help you understand. Now, more and more as we do this work together, we're starting to talk about astrology because your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, the placement of some of these outer planets really affects you. Pluto is retrograde right now. So let me just tell you, we've got Pluto retrograde, which governs death and transformation. Pluto is the planet of the shadow. It governs the eclipses. It's backward right now, okay? We're between two different eclipses, both of which have happened in Leo, okay, which is the sign of forward movement, creation, bravery, courage. So what these eclipses for most people have done is to teach you about what it means for you to be brave in your life. And how does it teach you to be brave? By giving you some weird stuff, okay? I'm not going to run through what's happened in my life over the past 7 days. But at every moment, here's what's beautiful. At every moment, I was like, okay, thank you, eclipse. Thank you, retrograde Pluto. Thank you, new moon. Thank you, because you have to give thanks. Everything that seems odd and out of order in your life is an opportunity for you to learn and grow, right? Okay, so the good news is I really believe that the universe is benevolent at its core, and I don't think it's going to give you anything you can't handle. How many of you feel right now, I'm just curious about this, genuinely from my soul, how many of you feel right now like your rubber band is sort of pulled as far as it'll go? Like it's pretty tight. Like if I tried to yank it just a little bit more, it would, I would say 75% of people are feeling like their rubber band has been pulled to just about here and they're hanging on. The good news is starting tomorrow, your rubber band's going to go woo. it back together, okay? Here's what the universe did to you in the last 2 weeks. You ready? It showed you how flippin' strong you are. And even the young ones are feeling it too. My kids have both been through dramatic transformation over the last 2 weeks. It's not sparing anyone. So how many of you feel like you haven't learned anything over the last 2 weeks? I'm just curious. Didn't learn anything? Nothing happened? How many of you didn't feel like you did not learn anything over the last 2 weeks? No life lessons, no transformation? Okay, so you probably have Pluto in a particular house, okay? Which means this isn't your time. And you know what? There'll be another solar eclipse in 18 months, and you can just get in line, and maybe it'll be a better one for you. This one, this one has been a very interesting one for all of us. So, and you know what? So if you did not learn anything over the last 2 weeks, here's what I will tell you. Before, I would knock on a little bit of wood, because you're still in the eclipse shadow for the next 7 to 10 days. Okay, so just because it didn't happen already doesn't mean it's not going to happen to you in the next 7 to 10 days. My wish for you is that it will be easy, that it will pass with ease, that you will have exactly the support that you need. How many of you feel like you do have someone in your life for all of these challenging times that you can go to and kind of lay your bucket down? I mean, that's very important. So another thing the eclipses do is they teach you, you have people around you. It's okay to lay your bucket down and say, this is really difficult. I'm going through this. Can you support me? All of those things. So what Pluto does is it gives you these situations in order to enhance your relationships. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. I'm going to go quickly through the houses tonight, and then I'm going to open our circle. We are setting intentions tonight, but we're going to do it in line with the energies as they exist in the moment. The new moon combined with a solar eclipse, those energies are about transformation and nothing less, okay? What the universe is asking of you right now is a transformation from the inside out, okay? So what's coming up for a lot of us is a lot of questions about, like, are you good enough? Are you doing the right thing? Are you doing it well enough? Are you showing up for the people who need you the way you're supposed to? Could you have done better? Are you hearing all this in the back of your mind, right? Like, and also, do you have the resources that you need in times of change? Because if you don't, you better get them now. And let me say this too. This isn't just about you, my sweet friends. This is about our planet, because guess what? Gaia is going through the exact same thing right now. And so, as within, so without, as above, so below, our planet is in a state of crisis. And so, what I want you to do tonight, I want you to indulge your own personal experience of this eclipse. I really do. I want you to think about how it's affecting you and your family and internal. But then I want you to turn your gaze outward. How is it affecting our planet? A lot of people are making meaning of the fact that the eclipse is conjunct Regulus, which is a constellation, a star, right, that represents leadership and so forth. I don't know how much meaning I choose to make of that. I do think that the solar eclipse in Leo is asking you to think about how you show up to power in relationship. But whether this is a dethroning of the king and all of that stuff, I mean, I kind of don't go too far down that road. I do think that the entire planet right now is screaming for compassion. I really do. And I think what this eclipse did is make you realize how much you're screaming for compassion. You know, you're wanting it, aren't you? You're wanting to feel that depth of emotion in your heart. And the reality is that's just a reflection of what our planet needs to. Any questions about that? No? We are where we are, but it's a powerful place and it's a powerful time. So what I'm going to ask tonight is I want you to set a big intention tonight for yourself for transformation. I want you to set one for the next lunar cycle. And I'm planting the seed because we're going to do this together, okay? I want you to plant one for the lunar cycle ahead, next 28 days, okay? I want you to plant one for the rest of 2017 through 12/31/17. And then I want you to set one for our planet, if you could make space in your heart for that. And I want us to think collectively. And maybe what we can do right at the end is agree to set a collective intention for our planet and come up with a word for that. And I would love to just have us collectively speak that word into the space. I think it's really, really important. I have a gift for everybody in the room of labradorite. I have a gift of that online for everybody too. I don't know if you saw it, but we're doing this incredible $30 gift today. If you're online, you have to place an order because that way I know where to ship your free gift to you. But you can order anything. It can be something very tiny. You're getting a free piece of labradorite, and then you're getting a bottle of Clairaudience essential oil to help you connect with your spirit guides. And you have to say solar, I think. Solar. Okay. And then, of course, Eclipse is your code for 17% off right now. Okay, so I want you to roll your shoulders back. I'm going to smudge a little bit. I think I've smudged 3,800 times today. And so this is so great. I'm going to do it one more time.
That is right. Yes. Oh, Brian knows already.
Woo. I love these moments because they're not easy. I don't like the easy. If you saw my Instagram post, I don't like the easy. I didn't come here for easy. I came here for hard and sticky.
And being a Leo.
And I came here for fire and smoke. I did come here for that too. But I really, it's so funny, since I was a child, most of my life's been about hardship, my own and also helping other people with theirs. And so I didn't come here for the easy times. And I think a lot of us who are warrior spirits, I know I've been in battle in past lives. I know a lot of you have too. I have scars on my body that there's no explanation for. And I think most of us with Pluto in the 12th house came here to do some hard things. And so I can hold you through that. And what's beautiful is you can hold me through that too. And then we can hold each other through it. And that's the work that we're meant to do. I hope. Hashtag hard and sticky. There are young people in the room, so I'm going to be really, really good tonight. It's really important. Okay. So I want you to roll your shoulders back. Tonight's going to be a lot of inner work. At the new moon, I always say, think of your ancestors, okay? Every 28 days, the sky went very dark. And they couldn't see their crops. They couldn't see anything. I mean, nothing, right? Why does that happen? And so our ancestors felt like it was either a time when they were abandoned, and so they would try to make meaning of that, or it was a time when the universe didn't want to make meaning for them, so they knew they had to tell their own story. One of the most beautiful translations of the eclipse is from the Native American tradition, which talks about the fact that the sun and the moon during an eclipse time are lovers having a conversation that's private, and you should not eavesdrop. And so in Native American tradition, you're not to look at the eclipse because it's the lovers and they're having a private conversation, which I think is really beautiful. But how every culture has made meaning of it. In Greece, there are ancient paintings, cave paintings, depicting the eclipse and the priestesses and the chalices and all of that. Same thing in Egypt. You have petroglyphs all the way there. I mean, even in Santa Fe, I have a friend who has a property in Santa Fe, petroglyphs all over his property depicting the eclipse. It's private property, you know, with all of these drawings. And he said, you know, it's so amazing. At the solstices, he goes out there, and the sun and the shadow divides all those petroglyphs all the way down the middle, even down the human drawings, everything right down the center on his private land. This is not like some museum. So every culture has tried to make meaning of what these in-between days. I want you to believe and trust that this is a portal tonight. This is an opportunity, and you won't have this opportunity again for another 18 months. And when it comes, that will be the end of this cycle. So what I want you to think about tonight, close your eyes right now. We're going to set an intention tonight for this cycle. We're beginning the cycle tonight. And I was telling the group in the room before we started, and Marianne would hold me accountable if I didn't start to talk about this now. The universe draws a distinction between intention and assumption, okay? And so one time I was setting an intention, but I was speaking it like, I will be here, and I will do this, and I will have that. And my guides are very vocal with me. I'm clairaudient. And I heard, as clear as day, you can set the intention, don't make an assumption. And it felt, you know, sometimes when the guides teach you, it's not always kind. Especially if you're further down your path, they're not going to pull punches with you anymore. They're not going to sugarcoat much, okay? And so the way I read that, and you take it for what it's worth, but the way I read it is set a beautiful intention for what you want to experience, but don't make the assumption that I will be there, I will have that, I will create that. Because the reality is, what if that's not the right path for you? What if you say, I'm going to be at X place, but that would be dangerous for you? What if you say, I'm going to have this thing, but it would not be in the path of your highest good? You don't know. And so you always have to leave the out for the universe. This or something better. This or something greater. Does that make sense? Okay. And when you do that, you're acknowledging that you are a co-creator. You're not the only creator. And in fact, you're the lesser creator. But you are a partner. And I do believe that when we don't set intentions at the new moon, the universe creates for us. And sometimes it doesn't create what you want. You know? The universe abhors a vacuum. And the new moon is a vacuum. So you have to create something, but you wanna give some space, right, for the universe to work through and around you. So Casey says, what about and so it is? Isn't seeing it already part of manifesting? It is, but it's what I said in the room is it's not the what, it's the how. Okay? And the way I explained it is, I think of my children. When my children come to me and say, I want this, I want that. Imagine, right, how intentions can sound very different. I want that car, I want that job, I want that. And I want that by March 15th, 2018, and I want that by June, right? Imagine how that sounds as opposed to I'm setting the intention that the perfect vehicle for me will arrive in perfect time and that it will meet all of my transportation needs. I'm setting the intention that the perfect partner will arrive to me in perfect time and that he or she will be the absolute perfect mirror to teach me what I need to learn and also to make me feel deeply loved. Do you see the difference? Okay, so it's not the what, it's the how. And I do think some people set intentions going car 2019, job 2020, person, Joe, and I just think let's talk about the how. Does that make sense? Okay. So I want you to roll your shoulders back. I want you to get clear tonight. Immediate intention, next 30 days. And just the gentle intention, right? I'm setting the intention that X will come to me in perfect time. Intention for the rest of the year, and then we're going to set an intention for our beautiful planet and what we feel like needs to come through for our planet. And my prayer consistently every morning, because I'm very worried about our planet right now, I'm worried about the people on our planet right now, I'm worried about leadership on our planet right now. Every morning when I wake up, I thank God for the day, and I ask that the highest good of our planet unfold in a way that will bring the best possible planet to my children for their later years in life so that they can enjoy their life as I've been able to enjoy mine. And so it is, and that's been my morning intention. Please I don't know what the right outcome is, but I certainly know that I'm being called upon, as are many of you, to set a global intention. Yeah? Okay. Aho. And so we go. Okay. So I want you to roll your shoulders back. Call your energy into present time. We're going to open our beautiful circle together. Just using a selenite wand because selenite clears energy, brings peace and happiness. And you put your hands on your knees with your palms facing up, which gets you nice and ready to receive energy. And I want you to imagine that out of your left hand extends a beautiful, glorious white beam of light. And it should fill your entire left hand, 4 to 6 inches in diameter. And it gets warm, so I want you to imagine a beautiful glowing beam of light. Give it a texture, give it a temperature. I want you to imagine that beam of light extends out of your left hand. And it will leave your left hand, and it's going to travel the whole circumference of our beautiful circle tonight. And we have people joining us from literally every continent on the planet. This is our most well-attended event in the last 6 years. So we are tonight in Africa, we are in New Zealand, we're in England, we're in Germany, we're in France. We are everywhere tonight. And what's beautiful is it's not 6:30 p.m. where they are. We have people joining us. It's 2 a.m., it's 4 a.m., 6 a.m. So I'm so thankful for your presence. New Zealand's here. Athena McMillan's in New Zealand. I love you. Aubriana's in Alaska. Mystic Forest is in Canada. It's so beautiful right now. So just feeling that energy in your left hand is going to, when that circle comes back to you, it's going to come back in your right hand. And when it does, you'll be holding the energy of the circle in your hands. And just let your right hand come up to temperature. And what you can do that's really beautiful is, Rhoda's in London, love it, love it, love it. We're getting a roll call here. Philippines, Cassandra, so gorgeous. Trisha's in Brooklyn. Love, love. So just sending that, and what you can do is send some energy through your left hand, knowing it's going to come back in your right hand. So tonight, let's send out compassion in our left hand, through our left hand into that beam of light. It's going to come back to you. Let's send a hug. Let's send love. Let's send presence. Let's send mindfulness. Let's send forgiveness and compassion. Let's send, what do you want to send?
Courage, abundance.
More. Yes. More. Courage. Yes, consciousness. Tolerance. Peace. Love. Joy. I wanted to go back to joy for a second. Joy! Sorry, but that just felt so good for a minute. Because it comes back to you, so all of a sudden I was like, joy, that felt so good in my right hand for a minute. More. Kindness. Acceptance. Strength. Humility. Self-control. Truth. Enlightenment. Fulfillment. Laughter. Respect. Here's the feed. Healing. Unity. Peace. Empathy. Shanti. Faith. Respect. Nicole's here from the West Indies, by the way. How beautiful is it just to have this incredible roll call tonight? Happiness. Patience. Gratitude. Connection. Freedom. Love. Heaven on earth. Courage. Wisdom. Hope. Protection. Patience. Comfort. Trust. Balance. Yes, empowerment, angels, love. Mercy. So beautiful. And just the Om. And then give yourself a moment in that right hand to receive all of that. You're holding that right now. And let that come through your right hand up to your elbow, up over your shoulder. Let all those energies soak down through your chakras. Let it start at your crown and just nourish your beautiful brain. So good. Let it come down to that third eye and just open your seeing eye, yeah? Down to your throat. Let it encourage you. Let it inspire you to speak your truth. And let it come into your heart and feel everything that everybody's holding for you right now. Down to your solar plexus. I hope you find your power tonight in all of that. And down to your sacral so that you can create through that space. And then to your root to remember you're safe and loved and held in this incredible circle. And then from your root, let's send that all the way down into the planet so that line of energy just extends from your source creator all the way down to the very center of the earth where it can anchor. I believe there's a whole civilization of us living in the center of our planet right now. You may not believe that, but I do. And so I'm sending some great energy down to them right now because I think they're holding an important space for us as they watch us struggle on the top of the planet. And so it is. So I'm gonna call in the 4 directions tonight. I'm gonna kind of just ad-lib it, if you don't mind. Feeling kind of inspired. And if you want, you can actually turn to the directions as I call them, or you can stay right where you are, but I would invite you just to feel the directions a little bit tonight. So I'm going to start the direction of east, which is here. You can just gaze to the direction if you want. So we start in the east. Direction of east, we call upon you and all of the air elementals tonight to bring in the breath of life. We ask you for a new beginning tonight at this new moon. We have a darkness around us that has been illuminated by this eclipse. And so tonight, air elementals, we call upon the guardians of this sacred direction to help us through this rebirthing process. We are in the birth canal. Help us through, pull us through. Remind us that this new opportunity to become, to grow, to expand is a gift that we are given tonight. And help us to use that gift wisely. I want you to take a deep breath here to feel that element of air. We welcome you to the circle. And then we turn to the south, which is going to be this direction right here. So guardians, elementals, keepers of the southern gateway, we call upon you for fire element energy tonight. So beautifully evidenced in that gorgeous eclipse today that most of us here in California could not see, but it was beautiful. And so we call upon you for courage tonight, stamina to get through these difficult times, strength. We know that the warriors in us are being asked to step up and to move forward. And we know that we must do so in a fearless way. But we find that courage in you. We find that courage in the fire. We know that we've been forged from fire, that we can stand through fire. And we know that we have many guardian spirits in the south who support us as we move in this courageous way toward a new path and a new future. And so it is, we welcome you to the circle. And then we turn west, direction of the grandmothers in the west. And we call upon the guardians and the gatekeepers of the Western Gateway. We need your strength. We need your emotion. We need your feeling. We need your ability to connect us. We need the grandmothers. You know, I don't have my grandmothers anymore, but I call upon them frequently because what do? They remind you, don't they? They remind you to keep it simple. They remind you that it'll be okay. They remind you that food is love. They remind you to hug each other. They remind you that what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. They remind you to go take a bath or go in the ocean or, you know, take a salt bath. They remind you how the water can purify. So grandmother spirits and guardians of the Western Gateway, we thank you tonight for the courage to feel our emotions. Sometimes this stuff sucks. Let us feel deeply into that so that we are acknowledging our emotions and working with them in a powerful way. We welcome you to the circle. And then, guardians, gatekeepers, ancestors in the north. We stand in your tall shadows. We ask for your guidance as we take these steps. You know, the grandfathers and the fathers and the ancestors in the north, they make us feel small, don't they? They remind us that it's okay to feel small because they will be strong for us. And so tree people and ancestor spirits, we come to you in the north and we come to you small because we know that we can rest in the big shadows of your big trees. And we know that the big animals of the north, the big slow-moving animals like elk and moose, they teach us that you don't have to move fast to be strong, and that what's most important is your ability to see and to remember. And so guardians of the Northern Gateway, we welcome you tonight. We're so grateful that we can rest in your power, different from the grandmother power in the north. And the grandmothers in the west are different than the grandfathers in the north. And so in the north, we hibernate, we nap, we rest, and we trust that we are always held and protected and safe. And so we thank you for your presence in the circle. And so it is. Our circle is open. Okay, so we're going to do two different rituals tonight. One is we're going to honor the energy and the medicine of the eclipse, and one is we're going to set intentions, okay? And when we honor the energy of the eclipse, we're also going to close the eclipse cycle tonight together. You ready? Which means the energies start to go more direct. In just 2 weeks, we're going to have Mercury moving forward, right? So we just have to get through the next 2 weeks, and it's all going to be much more clear. The path will be clear. So let's start with that. Let's close the eclipse cycle. If you have your eclipse candle, I'm going to light that now. And if you have your guide perfume, that is exactly the scent that you want to work with tonight because it's a blend of eclipse perfumes and new moon perfumes. If you don't have it, I'm going to pass it around in the room. Come on, candle. Thanks, Carol. Come on, candle. There we go. I'm like a candle charmer. I got to get this thing to do the thing. Okay. A little bit on my third eye for what I know, a little bit at my wrist for what I do, a little bit at my ankles for where I go. Okay. And so, in this beautiful circle that we have opened, we call upon the guardians of the eclipse portal because I believe there are certain guides who come during eclipse periods to help us navigate these energies. And so tonight, guardians and guides of this eclipse space, we call upon you to help us receive the medicine of the eclipse with grace. And I ask that every person in this circle, everybody who's seated here tonight, everybody who's watching online, if you want to close your eyes, you can keep them closed, or open your eyes, it's fine. I ask that everyone who's here tonight create this space right now, call in the energy right now to receive the medicine of this eclipse. What is it that you need to know? What is it that you needed to receive over the last really 4 weeks that we've been in this eclipse period, the shadow and the direct of the eclipse? And so I'm calling upon your spirit guides to come to you right now and show you what is it they've tried to teach you. What are they showing you? And guides, guardian angels, ancestor spirits, guides of the Eclipse portal. Is there anything that we did not see that needs to be seen? And if there is, please make that clear to us now. Make that available to us now. And I want you to really open your mind tonight. I know it's hard. Sometimes what's hidden from you is hidden because it's almost too much for you to see. But if you're willing, I would love for you to set the intention right now to agree to see what needs to be seen. Agree to understand what needs to be understood. Bless you. And so if you set that intention right now, I want you to say quietly to yourself or out loud if you wish, I'm ready to receive the medicine of the eclipse. I'm ready to walk through this transformation. And I'm ready to be reborn through the fire. And so it is. And guides and guardians, I ask that everyone in this circle be protected as they move through this process. Teach them and show them in an effortless way. Help us to learn the lessons with grace. And we know that we are always safe, always protected, always held as we move through these lessons in our life. Bless you, bless you, bless you. I think we're allergic to eclipses. I really do. Before we extinguish this candle, I really want you to think for just a moment, what's been hard for you lately? What have you seen that you didn't want to see? What have you learned that you didn't want to learn? And can you give thanks for it? This is the big question. Seriously, this is soul growth time. This is no joke time. What did you learn that you didn't want to learn? What did you see that you didn't want to see? And can you give thanks for it? And when you're ready, if you can do it, because this is big time, you guys. I'm not taking this for granted. If you can do it, I want you to say thank you out loud. Thank you. Thank you. If you're not ready yet, that's okay. I know sometimes it's hard to be grateful for those big lessons, but I promise you, anything that you learned about people, because you know what the eclipses do, right? They show you everything you need to know. And you know, it's funny, I was saying this morning when I was live, I saw some things about people I didn't want to see. I still had to say thank you. I will be honest with you, I didn't say thank you the same day. I'm just being honest. I sure didn't. Maybe the next day. You know, it's okay to have a moment and throw a fit and say, I can't believe that. Or really, I mean, that person and did that and said that and, you know, yeah. And you know why? Because it's time for them to go away. Whoa. Bye. I'm not kidding. Bye. And it's a bye with love. It's a bye with love. Because when the universe shows you those things, it gives you the chance to decide how it's a bye. And it can be as subtle as nothing. They just, bye, bye, bye. And so when the universe isn't that gentle with you and isn't that clear with you, sometimes that results in conflict. But with the eclipse, it's often very subtle. It's like, here's who that person really is, and bye. You know, bye. Exit stage left. Bye-bye. Okay. And then showing you the reality of situations, right? Like, it's not what you thought it was. And thank you, right? Your health, right? That lab test came back and it was weird. And thank you. Because what if you hadn't learned it then, right? But, you know, it's only in hindsight so many of us receive that medicine. It's like, oh, thank God that came when it did. But in the moment, you're like, really, right now? This is happening right now. Oh, my God, this is happening right now, right? So I want you, this may not apply to you now, by the way. This could be 5 years from now. This could be 20 years from now. But you might remember this conversation when you're having those moments like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this or something better. Yeah, this or something better. It hasn't been an easy eclipse portal for me because it partially affected one of my children. and I'm a Leo. So I'm ready to move forward if you are. And so if you have your candle, are you ready? Yeah? Thank you to this eclipse for all that it has shown. And we are ready now to move forward. Like the warriors, we are. And we'll move forward together. Because we have clarity now, you and me, don't we? We know now. Amen, aho, and so it is. Did you feel that? Yeah, little door gets closed, yeah? Just a little, thank you. I will tell you that door closes really gently when you say thank you, and it slams shut when you don't. So we did a really beautiful, just like gentle door closing there. Okay, and then if you're ready to transition, let's light our new moon candle. You ready for the fun part? I did the bad stuff first. It's almost like when you go to the doctor's office, get the shot over with, and then we can, talk about good things. Okay, that was the shot. This is the fun part. New moon. In any form that you have it, whatever new moon candle you have, if you don't have a candle, it doesn't matter. You don't need one. Just hold the space, yeah? Just hold the space. Okay. This is my new moon tool. This is what I use. This is my little Labradorite owl. Isn't he sweet? Every month I set my intentions with him. This is, by the way, we're going to Denver in 2 weeks, and this is the kind of stuff that we bring back. And so if you've seen that Denver thing that we do, and you want like carved Labradorite and things like that, this is the time. Because we only have the shows twice a year. So if you're curious about getting magical tools like that, this is the time to do that. But he's been a really trusted little companion to me for many new moons. His owl is my totem since I've got a certain name. Okay, new moon, candle lit. Okay. So in the darkness, with really nothing to guide us but our own intuition. This is just you and your guides right now. This is just you and that quiet voice that speaks to you when you're alone at night and your mind is running. And all of a sudden you hear, or you feel, or you smell, or you sense. This is just you and that essence right now. I want you to first set an intention for the next lunar cycle. So this is from now until the new moon in September. Okay. Over the next 30 days, what do you want to experience? And I say experience because I find that experiences are more powerful intentions than things. But you can do a thing. But what do you want to experience? Greater health? Deeper happiness? For a lot of us, it's just peace. It's just not feeling anxious. But you got to define it in positive terms. You can't set a negative intention. I don't want to feel anxious. You have to say, I want to feel peace. So what do you want to experience in the next 28 days? And let it be easy. You know what I mean? Like, just something easy for you. I'm connecting with you right now. I feel you right now. But whatever it is for you, whatever you want to experience. And close your eyes. And what I want you to do is first imagine how it will feel to have that experience. If it's peace, do your shoulders go a little loose? Do you feel like your muscles relax? Does your neck relax? If your health, if you want to experience better health, what does that feel like? No more pain in your back. If you want to experience more prosperity, what does that feel like? Not working as hard, maybe? If you want to experience more time with your family, what does that look like? Being at the park with your kids, Does that look like picking them up from school and doing something fun? And I'm saying this because everybody's intention for their experience is going to be so different. So just close your eyes and focus. Next 28 days, what do you want to experience? And I'm calling upon the guides, guardian angels, ancestors, spirits, guardians of the 4 gateways. I hold the space for the intentions of everyone who's in this circle tonight now and who will be watching later, both live and online. I ask that you grant their requests in perfect time and in deep alignment with their highest good. And I ask that you bring this experience to them that they desire and show it to them in such a way that it will delight them and remind them that magic is real. And so once you really crystallize that vision, you can say with me, Amen, Aho, and so it is. And now, the bigger intention. What do you want to create? Today is August 21st. What do you want to create today that's going to take you through the end of the year? What is your full harvest cycle going to look like all the way through winter, the beginning of winter? What do you want to create over the next few months? Like, I really, as I look at each of you, like, I can feel what it is for you, and it can be profound or it can be really simple. But it's okay if your intention seems impossible. Do you know that Sage Goddess was born in a new moon? Do you know what my intention was? My intention was to bring a full moon ritual to people around the world. And I had not done that before. So that seemed impossible, didn't it? But it wasn't. Did it happen right away? No. So go deep within your heart and ask yourself, what is it that you want to create? And if you're not sure, ask your guides to work through you, to create through you whatever is supposed to come from your hands and your heart and your soul over the next few months. Until December 31st, 2017. We're going to stop it right there. Guides, guardian angels, ancestor spirits who are joining us this evening, guardians of the four sacred gateways. I'm feeling called to mention the spirit animal helpers, as I feel like a lot of them will be involved with you. I ask that you come in now and that you help to manifest the intentions of everyone who's joining live and online now and who will watch later, to bring their intentions to fruition and manifestation in perfect time and in deep alignment with their soul path and their soul purpose. I ask that these intentions come to pass in a way that, again, demonstrates to them that magic is real, that reinstates the faith that might have been lost, and in ways that also show the people all around each one of these beautiful souls, show the people all around you that the work that you're doing is sacred and real, and that not only is it transforming your life, it's transforming the lives of everyone around you. And when you feel like you have that, when you really feel like you understand what it is you want to manifest before the end of the year, then together we will say Amen, Aho, and so it is. Take a good deep breath right there. The universe is so good. It's just so good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now, before we blow out that candle, we did the micro, we did the macro for you. We're not going to start working on 2018 yet. That seems hard. We've been through a lot the last couple weeks. Next month, maybe. Give us a minute, right? Now I want to set an intention for our planet. You know, Facebook is this really interesting microcosm for me of, it's a teacher of how to love, right? Like, you have friends who have different opinions than you do, don't you? Like, where you see things posted and you're like, whoa. And it's really funny. I have a non-unfriending policy, unless people are egregious, which that has happened. There's certain things, you know, that I think even the universe says are not okay. But, you know, what I find is every moment that I disagree with you is a deeper moment for me to find out how to love you better. You know what I mean? When I see a post that I'm just like, whoa, what is that? It's like, well, this is an opportunity for me to figure out how to love into that because I don't understand it. And so I feel like that way with our planet right now. It's like our planet is trying to figure out how to love us. And we're not easy to love sometimes right now. So it's sort of like, whoa, instead of unfriending us, you know what I mean? Like, the planet isn't unfriending us, but it's kind of unfollowing us a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, I don't know about that. Gosh, let me learn how to love that. You know what I mean? So, is there a word that feels good across the collective right now? Like, is there, or should we maybe set an intention just that we can learn to love our planet as much as she is loving us back in our unlovable places. Does that make sense? It's almost like, can we meet halfway? That's what I'm feeling in my heart. Does that resonate? Like, I'm seeing you guys nodding, so that must be speaking to you. Okay, so let's try that for now. Every month that we do this, by the way, the new moon, because we're going to do it every month live, just like this, we'll try a different iteration of this collective intention. So for tonight, for our planet, let's set the intention that it will find a way to love us in all of our unlovable places, and that we will find a way to love it, her, in her unlovable places. And so imagine what if, over the next month until I see you again for new moon, imagine what if every time you saw something that turned you off or made you feel like you lost your faith, or when you literally have those moments where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm reading that. What if every one of those moments you took that as an opportunity to love harder or to see a little deeper into it? And I know it's hard because there's some stuff out there right now you shouldn't be seeing. Like, I'm seeing it. It's pretty gnarly. So, all right, Gaia. To the guardians of our planet. And to the guardians of our galaxy who are watching us with much curiosity, will we destroy what they've given us? Right? We're at this turning point, yeah? Because we can destroy it real fast. And you know what? We'll all just go home. So that's not to be feared. But I'd like to stay here for a while longer. So Gaia, can you find a way to love us in our unlovable places? And can you help us to love you more deeply into those places where it seems like darkness prevails? And so Gaia, we set the intention tonight to meet you halfway, to start to love more when we want to resist, to start to judge less when we really feel like we want to judge. And when we get met with resistance or unkindness, that we can in fact love more deeply into those places. So we set that intention tonight. And if you feel like you can do that, because that's a big old ask tonight, that's not easy. And I'm really asking you to do it everywhere. I'm asking you to do it with your family. I'm asking you to do it on Facebook. I'm asking you to do it in your community. I'm asking you to do it pretty much everywhere. Can you love harder if she meets you halfway? You ready? So when you're ready, amen, aho, and so it is. I will love harder. I'll love harder. Okay, you ready? I'm blowing it out for you. If you don't have a candle, I'm doing it for you. Ready? A little bit of air, right? Moving in your direction. Woo! I really felt that one in my soul, I have to tell you. Because I don't know that it's ever been harder to be a light worker, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes it's fun, right? Like light working, like, oh, it's fun. Nope. Right now it is armor, and it's armor with an open bleeding heart. Right? Yeah. And so what I want you to imagine is this, because this is my one trick I haven't taught you yet. You ready? Okay. I want you to imagine that there is a big balloon in front of you. You can make it whatever color you want, but I do this every month. And I'm pretty good at manifesting some stuff, so you might want to try it. I've done some things. I haven't manifested everything, but I've done real good. I want you to imagine there's a big balloon right in front of you, as big as you want it to be. And I want you to imagine that there is a hole in that balloon where you can put all of your visions and dreams and hopes that you just set, all of your intentions, whatever it is. Just imagine pushing them all into that balloon. Everything that you just saw. Send it all in there. You can send words, you can send pictures, you can send anything you want into that balloon. You fill it up. That's your balloon. My mom used to tell me when I was little that my balloon never popped. She used to be critical of me, like, really? You want to dream that dream? Your balloon never pops. You know what? It never popped. So may your balloon never pop. So put everything in there. Big balloon. I'm doing it too. And then I want you to imagine sealing that little hole. Whether you tie it off with a ribbon or you imagine it just gets covered up, but I want you to seal up that big, beautiful balloon once all your good stuff's in there. And then I want you to imagine that balloon just lifting up and just traveling off and send that right up to source. And you know what? That's it. That's the most important part of the entire thing, because you have to release it from your hands. And so, Great Spirit, God, Goddess, Creator, however we think of the one that breathed the breath of life into us, we give it to you tonight. And we ask that you manifest what we have requested tonight in perfect time. And we ask that whatever we have set forth unfold in your time, not ours, and in alignment with our highest good. And we ask that you help us to hold faith in our hearts until that time comes. Because the most important part of manifesting an intention is not losing faith. When it doesn't happen tomorrow, if you give up, the process is over. Sometimes intentions take years, you guys. It's holding that faith. That's why we're all here, because we can hold that for you. And so take these intentions from us, manifest them in our behalf. This or something better. Say it with me. This or something better. Amen, aho, and so it is. So your big balloon just went up, away. And you know what? That's all the work you have to do. That's it. And if you change your mind, you can dialogue with the universe. They'll bring you your balloon back. You can make a couple tweaks and changes and send it right back up. That's right. Aho. How are you feeling? Did you send off a big balloon? You can put a bunch of stuff in there. I've seen big balloons. Some of them have cars in them. Some of them have houses in them. I have seen a lot of things in my time. Okay. So, I want you to open your hands back to that receptive position. We're going to open our circle. So thankful. Guardians of the North, thank you for the strength that it took to set these intentions tonight, especially those for our planet, Great Gaia. We have so much love and reverence for you. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. And thank you for your presence. We release you from service to the circle this evening. Guardians of the West, thank you for helping us tap into those big emotions. They're scary, those big emotions. It's hard to feel all that fear and anxiety. Bless you. It's hard to feel it all, but we need to feel it. So thank you for the courage to do that. Thank you to the grandmother spirits who remind us it'll all be okay. It'll all be okay. And we release you from service to the circle. Guardians of the South, thank you for the courage. Thank you for making us laugh. The South is all about laughter, because you know what? Magic is not that serious. The South is about playing little tricks on you, because otherwise what would it be? Imagine if the entire universe was ruled by the North. It'd be like Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? So you have to have a little bit in the South going on, a little bit of heat, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of trickster energy. So we're so thankful for the South, because it keeps it light and it keeps us going. It's like our life force, all that creativity and all of that passion. So thank you. We release you from your service to the circle. Guardians of the East, it's constantly a new beginning. Every day, every breath. We're never stuck. We are never, never, never stuck. And thank you to the Guardians of the East for that sacred reminder in every moment. Every moment's a new beginning for you. Your entire body regenerates itself every 5 to 7 years. You know that, right? Every hair on your head, every cell in your body, everything is constantly renewing. If you think you're stuck, you need to have another thought. And the Guardians of the East can show you that and can teach you that in powerful ways. So we thank you. We release you from the service to the circle. And so we release the energy of the circle itself. That energy, that circle came to you in your right hand. You're going to release it from your right hand. It'll run counterclockwise back around the circle tonight, come back to you in your left hand. As it does, usually your right hand sort of starts to get a little cold, but your left hand stays really warm. And so I like to turn my left hand upside down and send all of that energy of the circle down to the center of the earth, where it can be reused. Energy is never created and it's not destroyed, but you can raise it. And so we sure did that tonight. So we send all that beautiful energy we raised down into the very center of the earth, where it can anchor, be transformed and transmuted into beautiful white light, and then sent to everyone on the planet who can use it this evening, so that we are in deep service always to our brothers and sisters, even those who don't know that we're sending energy from where we are. So it is. Okay. Tonight was really special, I think, for all of us. It was really special for me. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to my team for helping us set up tonight and for being here. Beautiful Sage Goddess team. I'm grateful to all of you who are in the room. Our room is really full. You want to see? Zoom cam. Ready? We are like full house over here. Kind of fun. I know. They love to see you too. So I'm so grateful that you were here. I know it's hard, but it is good. And this is the work of your spirit. It's very important. And if you have never done new moon ritual before, get excited. Because it's kind of like, now you get to wait and watch. These are the moments when faith is born, you know? When these moments when you're not quite sure. So if you start doubting yourself, that's okay. I won't doubt, so I'll hold the space for you. I want to remind you of the free gift. It's in the shop just because it is so special and it is a free gift, but it only goes till midnight tonight. But you have to say solar in your notes. We kind of messed everybody up because it was like, is it solar or is it Eclipse? Eclipse is your code for 17% off, but you get a free piece of labradorite. The lighting in here is not good, but these all have gorgeous flash, and you get a full dram of Clairaudience essential oil blend to help you connect with your spirit guides, which is really special. I'm going to give you really quickly one key word for Pluto in each house, okay? And then go back and watch the Full Moon Ritualist video if you don't know where your Pluto is. That way it'll help you understand yourself better. Okay, this is your shadow. And then starting next month, full moon, we're diving deep into shadow work. Do you guys know what shadow work is?
Oh, yeah.
Woo. Shadow work is never done. Okay, Pluto in the 12th house. You ready? Warrior. Because Pluto in the 12th house governs secrets. Pluto in the 11th house, power. Pluto in the 10th house, ambition, work. Is that you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pluto in the 10th house. Pluto in the 10th house is about shadow through work. So you might like work too hard thinking you have to prove something. Shadow can come up in interesting ways. Pluto in the 9th house is the mind. Those are people who overthink everything. Yeah? You know what? And wherever you think Pluto is, it probably is. No, I'm serious. You'll be really interested. Pluto in the 8th house is a little complicated. This is sex and money.
That's Allie.
So if you have shadow through sex, shadow through money, that's you. Pluto in the 8th. Pluto. Who's a real planet. Pluto in the 7th house is personal relationships and jealousy. That's not mine. I'm not into that. Pluto, that's because I have a moon in Sag. We have a very hard time, you know, I've been married a long time, but we have a little bit of a hard time with monogamy, so that would have been a really hard one for me. Pluto in the 6th house, interesting. This is the profile of the healer, but these are the people who are prone to paranoia. Their shadow makes them feel like everybody's watching them or looking at them. That's Pluto in the 6th house, yep. Pluto in the 5th house, creation and children. Shadow through children, like living your life through your kids. Anybody have anybody? My mom has Pluto in the 5th house. Pluto, no, she really does. Pluto in the 4th house is parents, guilt, and protection. Okay. Pluto in the 3rd house, communication and truth. Pluto in the 2nd house, success through money. But this is about, but possessions, owning things, or feeling like you want to own things or own people. Pluto in the 1st house, new beginnings, and the inner critic. So interestingly, a lot of Virgos have Pluto in the 1st house. Is that helpful? Okay. You have your homework. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay! Okay. What I recommend that you do is start doing research into your Pluto placement. I give you like a little tidbit, like a keyword, but there's a lot for you to discover there. And a lot of things are impacted by your sun, your moon, your rising, and the other houses. So start digging into your chart. I think you're going to find it to be a wealth of information for you in your life. I'll see you guys very soon. So glad to have you with me. Thank you. Thank you.
November 8th.